You ever think about how a single moment on the road can change everything? One second, you're driving like any other day, and the next, your life gets tangled in a mess of flashing lights, sirens, insurance claims, and legal battles. It's hard to imagine this kind of chaos hitting so close to home, but for the Brown family from Sister Wives, that nightmare is all too real. Isabel Brown, Christine's daughter, is now right in the middle of a serious lawsuit after a car accident on a busy Utah freeway. This isn't just some distant headline. It's a complicated, painful situation that has shaken up the family and opened a window into the harsh realities many of us don't see behind the cameras. Hey friends, Oliva here with TLC's Sister Wives Secret. If you're new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. And once you hear all about this, I want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story is about so much more than just a crash. It's about the legal struggles, the emotional toll, and how one moment can ripple through a family's life in ways you might never expect. Today, we're diving into Isabel's lawsuit, the details of the accident, how Utah's insurance laws come into play, and what this means for her and the family moving forward. This isn't the typical sister wives drama you're used to. It's real life consequences hitting hard, reminding us that no matter how famous you are, accidents don't discriminate, and neither do the legal battles that follow. So stay with me as we break down everything you need to know about this situation and why it matters more than just for the Brown family. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty of what actually happened that fateful day in 2023 on I 15 near Midvale, Utah. It was a busy stretch of freeway, like many of us have probably driven on, but this time things quickly spiraled out of control. According to reports, a multi car accident unfolded when Isabel Brown was driving behind other vehicles. The claim is that she was following too closely and didn't hit the brakes soon enough when traffic suddenly slowed. This caused a chain reaction crash involving several cars, including drivers Matias Ganado and Jadat Marai, who were both caught up in the mess. So, what's the legal side of this? Isabel faces negligence allegations, which basically means the other drivers are saying she wasn't careful enough behind the wheel. Specifically, she's accused of tailgating and failing to brake in time to avoid the crash. Utah's car insurance system adds a layer of complexity here because it uses what's called a modified no-fault system. What that means is each driver's own insurance covers their initial medical expenses and damages, up to a point, without immediately assigning blame. But here's the catch. For someone to take a negligence claim to court in Utah, the injured party has to show their medical bills have surpassed $3,000. Only then can they push beyond insurance claims and sue the other driver. That's why this lawsuit is so significant. It means someone involved suffered enough injury and expense to meet that threshold, which takes the conflict from insurance companies into the courtroom. Isabel's insurance will cover her up to a limit, but after that, the plaintiff drivers like Matias Ganado and Jadat Marai can hold her legally responsible for damages. This is where things get tense, with legal teams digging into the details of who caused what and how much responsibility Isabel really holds in this crash chain reaction. It's a tangled web, but these specifics are what set the stage for the lawsuit and everything that's unfolding now. Now, to really understand the full picture here, you've got to look beyond the crash itself and see what was going on in Isabel Brown's life at that time. In 2023, things were pretty hectic for the Browns. Christine and David had just purchased a new home, which always brings a whirlwind of change, stress, and adjustment. On top of that, Isabel was starting college, stepping into a new chapter full of pressures we all know too well, balancing studies, social life, and family expectations. It's not hard to imagine how overwhelming this period must have been for her. When you consider all that, it adds another layer of context to the accident. It's not like Isabel was careless or reckless by nature. This was a young woman juggling a lot, trying to navigate adulthood while dealing with the usual chaos that comes with life transitions. These moments don't excuse what happened on A15, but they definitely help paint a more human picture of Isabel. Not just someone in a lawsuit, but someone going through real struggles, making mistakes like anyone else might. This situation also echoes a similar event that the family faced before, involving Isabel's brother, Peyton Brown. Remember when Peyton had his own accident that also led to legal action? That incident, which involved insurance claims and a lawsuit, brought a lot of attention to the family's ongoing challenges with car accidents and the complicated insurance landscape in Utah. It's almost like the Browns have been caught in this cycle, navigating the emotional and legal fallout of crashes while trying to maintain their family stability and public image. What really stands out here is Isabel's behavior after the accident. Unlike some stories you hear about people fleeing the scene or denying responsibility, Isabel did the responsible thing. She stayed at the accident site, cooperated with law enforcement, and accepted the ticket for the traffic violation. That speaks volumes about her character, owning up to the situation rather than trying to avoid it. And that's important, especially for a young person suddenly thrust into the complex and intimidating world of legal battles. It's tough to imagine the emotional weight Isabel must be carrying, balancing guilt, stress from the lawsuit, and the normal pressures of young adulthood. But this is a very real reminder that behind every headline or legal case, there's a person dealing with far more than just the facts on paper. And for fans of the show and supporters of the family, it's a moment to pause and empathize with the human side of this story, beyond the drama and court dates. When I think about Isabel's situation, my heart really goes out to her. Facing a lawsuit is stressful for anyone. But for a young person who's already dealing with the big changes of growing up, going to college, and managing family upheaval, it's almost overwhelming. The pressure isn't just about the legal stuff, it's the emotional toll, the fear of what this means for her future and how it might affect her family. No one wants to see someone so young caught up in something this heavy. And honestly, anyone who's driven on that stretch of I-15 near Midvale knows just how tricky and dangerous it can be. That highway is notorious for traffic jams, sudden slowdowns, and, unfortunately, those chain reaction crashes that can happen in a blink. You think you have plenty of space and time, and then suddenly you're in a situation where everything happens so fast. There's barely time to react. It's a tough spot for any driver, no matter how experienced. I've had moments where I've felt like I just barely avoided something because traffic slowed too quickly or someone cut in front of me. It's scary how easily things can escalate. Now, when it comes to insurance, things get even more complicated. A lot of people don't realize how important having the right coverage is until they're in a situation like this. Utah's modified no-fault system means you have to use your insurance first, and only after medical bills hit that $3,000 mark can you start thinking about suing for negligence. But if someone's underinsured or doesn't have collision coverage, that's where real problems start. Because then you're looking at out-of-pocket costs or long legal battles just to get some financial relief. It's a maze, and families like the Browns are learning that the hard way. Isabel's case isn't just a headline. It's a real reminder for all of us about how unpredictable driving can be, how quickly accidents happen, and how crucial it is to be protected with proper insurance. It's a cautionary tale about being careful on the road and making sure you're covered if things go wrong, because at the end of the day, it's not just about money or lawsuits. It's about people's lives and futures. So, as we wrap this up, I really hope that Isabel and the other driver involved, Matias Gonedo,